in a few days we're about to see prices go up at the grocery store. What do you say to those Americans?
I don't think that's going to happen.
You don't
the reason
think,
it's going to happen,
it won't happen?
watch, no one can guarantee anything, but that's very nice. Thank you. I wish I could guarantee whatever you'd like. But the fact is, wait, let's take one moment. Wait. You asked me a question. Let's go through it, okay? Our farmers are blocked from selling almost anywhere. We can't, 1.4 billion people in India, and we can't sell them corn. Europe won't let us sell beef. Australia won't let us sell beef. Why?
Of hormonal chemicals.
Yeah, no, that's not why. It's because they want to just protect. I know they want to say, oh, what, the seeds are different, right? Other people in the world are using seeds that insects. Come on, this is nonsense. This is all nonsense. What happens is they block our markets. When we open those markets, our volumes grow, our farmers will thrive, and the price of groceries will come down.
Howard Lutnick is illustrating exactly what's wrong with this administration's superiority complex when dealing with a world that doesn't worship the ground that rich, lazy, unaccomplished men walk on. They don't even listen to the perspectives from others that let us know how to be better, because they operate in a world that blindly worships a master.
Let Donald Trump run the global economy. He knows what he's doing. He's been talking about it for 35 years. You got to trust Donald Trump in the White House. That's why they put him there. Let him fix it.
I understand.
It's broken. Let him fix it. Our $36 trillion deficit, right, is going to ruin our children's lives and our grandchildren's lives. Let Donald Trump fix the American economy.
Yeah, do y'all think that Howard Lutnick wakes up and has a schedule of when he'll kiss Donald Trump's ass throughout the day? You know, does he keep track of which angle he'll take for his lunchtime ass kissing versus the mid-afternoon session just to keep things interesting? You know, because it's hard to find him doing anything else during the day.
You're right in the long term, but in the long term, we're all dead. So how long are we going to have to wait for the benefits to come pouring in?
Well, you started hearing it recently when Donald Trump yesterday said we have about $5 trillion of committed investment to America. $5 trillion. That means people are going to start building factories right now. And that means all that construction work begins now. That starts to employ Americans today. You're going to see plants being built, factories rebuilding. All shifts are going to be running hot across America now. You're going to see employment leaping starting today.
You know, that's weird because today, when we've been told that we'll see employment start to leap, Stellantis announced that they're temporarily laying off hundreds of workers due to Howard Lutnick's request to just let Trump run the American economy. The Dodge and Ram truck maker said the layoffs included pausing production at an assembly plant in Mexico and another in Canada. The U.S. plants affected are powertrain and stamping facilities that provide parts for the two factories in Mexico and Canada that are being idled. In a letter sent to employees, the COO for the Americas said the company is continuing to assess the medium and long-term effects of these tariffs on our operations, which is probably why they're floating those as temporary, just in case the most erratic and destructive president does something else that they can't possibly react to. The president of the Canadian Union, representing Stellantis workers there, said that Trump is about to learn how interconnected the North American production system is the hard way, with auto workers paying the price for his lesson. The mayor of Sterling Heights, Michigan, he already knows.
What impacts are you bracing for in the region?
Massive layoffs, huge price increases, complete disruption to the automotive industry. Sterling Heights is a blue-collar town. About 40% of our employment is in the auto sector. So we anticipate that there'll be layoffs. There are dozens, if not hundreds, of auto suppliers in Sterling Heights, some of them Canadian-owned companies. And so those could be hit very hard immediately. We're expecting layoffs, plant closures, and price increases. We've been through processes of opening automotive plants that were slated to be shut during the Great Recession. That process took years and years to get those new products online. These car companies have invested billions of dollars in the supply chains that they have, and they're able to compete globally because of the costs are being able to be held down because of it. Disrupting that is going to make the car companies less competitive. And while I understand the UAW wants to see its membership increase and more manufacturing in the United States, I don't see these tariffs as just a negotiating tool. This is going into effect, and it's going to have devastating impacts on our local economy, including layoffs of UAW workers.
You know, I get the feeling that Donald Trump and his team never spoke to or consulted with people that have direct connections to the local economies that his ego-driven economic policies he's tossing around will have an effect on. Watching the economy respond this badly to it has him preaching more rainbows and butterflies instead.
I think it's going very well. It was an operation, like when a patient gets operated on, and it's a big thing. I said this would exactly be the way it is. We have $6 or $7 trillion coming into our country, and we've never seen anything like it. The markets are going to boom, the stock is going to boom, the country is going to boom, and the rest of the world wants to see, is there any way they can make a deal? They've taken advantage of us for many, many years. For many years, we've been at the wrong side of the ball, and I'll tell you what, I think it's going to be unbelievable.
It feels like there's only so much of this repetitive process of doing destructive things that result in destructive atmospheres, only to be explained away as just wait and see the golden age take off at some point to really see come through. So MAGA apologists are trying to come up with new ways to pitch the horrible reactions as something great.
When somebody has the courage to show up and say to Wall Street, screw you, I am waging war. I am waging class warfare on behalf of the American working class. And you elites in Wall Street, you do what you need to do because I'm not going to stop fighting for the American working class. Suddenly, everybody is sitting around going, oh no, the stock market. Yeah, the stock market looks like that because the rich are punishing Trump for siding with the neglected and humiliated American working class over them. Now, how long is Wall Street going to keep trying to punish this president for standing the American working class? I don't know, but I can tell you that the view from the street is people cannot believe that there is a president who is working for them, who is putting them first and telling Wall Street to go screw itself.
Okay, wait, hold on. So the elitists on Wall Street are freaking out and punishing Donald Trump. Is this the same Donald Trump that brought up the elitists involved with the stock market every time it was up or down as a gauge about his ability to make our economy thrive? Since when has this president told Wall Street to screw itself, or that he's putting American workers above their interests? Was it before he went there immediately after winning the election to ring the bell and promise to any foreign company that as long as they pay him billions of dollars, that he'll eliminate all regulations standing in their way in order for them to install anything they want into the country? I'm still trying to figure out how that promise helps regular Americans that become victims to the unregulated entities doing whatever they want in their communities. These propagandists will throw everything at the wall to keep people confused. But, if you actually listen long enough, it always comes back around to them giving themselves billions of dollars of tax cuts. Listen.
Well, I think it is very disruptive, and the administration admits as much. And this gets to two big things. One, as the vice president referred to it, they need massive deregulation. They need to get the Muscovites on steroids in terms of removing barriers to get things done. And the other thing is a huge message to Congress. The GOP needs to really substantially increase this tax cut. Now, they say these tariffs will bring in $600–800 billion of revenue. Use that as an offset for big rates cuts in tax rates, because the economy is going to need real tailwinds.
If tariffs are the path to total economic greatness for regular Americans, why would Republicans need to offset the results in the tax bill that always benefits the richest? Because these rich, lazy parasites are so focused on their primary goal of stealing more money from us, they don't even care about what the rest of the world is preparing to do to move on from our toxic leadership.
The global economy is fundamentally different today than it was yesterday. The system of global trade anchored on the United States that Canada has relied on since the end of the Second World War, a system that, while not perfect, has helped to deliver prosperity for our country for decades, is over. Our old relationship of steadily deepening integration with the United States is over. The 80-year period when the United States embraced the mantle of global economic leadership, when it forged alliances rooted in trust and mutual respect, and championed the free and open exchange of goods and services, is over. Canada must be looking elsewhere to expand our trade, to build our economy, and to protect our sovereignty. Canada is ready to take a leadership role in building a coalition of like-minded countries who share our values. We believe in international cooperation. We believe in the free and open exchange of goods, services, and ideas.